spent $169,000 to date. When you look at real expenses, we spent about $100,000 for some of the things that are soft costs of depreciation, things of that nature. We'll probably, because of the closing, it looks like we'll spend maybe another another 50,000. That's just a guess, based on we're not in heating season anymore and things of that nature. So we might have 150,000 of that actual spend before the closing consummated. Last year we spent about 100,000 in total on electric salary. Again, the rest are all soft costs. Your package, balance sheet, quick assets are 484,000 lower than prior month. Receivables 875,000 higher than prior month. Balance is about unchanged, about $4,000 difference. Total current assets 386,000 higher than prior month. Total assets 870,000 higher than prior month. Total current liabilities virtually unchanged, $1,600 higher than prior month. And total capital 868 higher, 868,000 higher than prior month. Page 99 are our revolving loan fund. Current page 100 are the micro enterprise. We'll get wild. It looks like there's 3 that are delinquent. The numbers that are in front are the months that are delinquent, or
a number of months. Yes.
Okay, I assumed as much. So we've got 3 delinquent loans, 2 at 1 month and 1 at 2 months. One of them looks like they're just coming off moratorium. I don't know if that was just a late because they didn't realize they had to make a payment, or have you been in contact with any or all pretty while? And
We've been in contact with all of them, Rob. They're struggling a bit, but I think we're okay.
Okay, yeah, I mean, none of them are significant
No.
balances or loans. And I thought one might have been on the space. They literally just came off moratorium, so this would have been their first payment. Page 101 is your city loan fund, also stated as current. Page 102 and 103, a question. We have some kind of ongoing cost with bringing a car. I assume this is associated with some of the work we're doing. Is it either the airport or is it 146 or something else?
For the airport.
Okay, I knew you answered that last
Yeah. That's working on the DOT highway access permit for the road. Yep.
Yeah. And then on page 103, there's a fairly large invoice at SK Enterprises.
That's for
land transaction, but that's shown separately. So what particularly is that?
that is for the movement of the rail siding down at City Center Industrial Park. So we will be getting reimbursed those costs from the Watertown Trust and from Lindsay Brothers.
Okay, so that'll reverse out.
Yeah, that'll be a washout. Yep.
I didn't remember that name. It didn't seem familiar. That's the treasurer's report. I make a motion to accept it as recommended.
Second. Any questions with regards to the treasurer's report? On the motion, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Rob, you're still up.
All right.
Loan review.
I guess continuing on, I'm not gonna review page 105 to 107. It's more the energy committee joint loan review. It was to go through the draft UTEP. We already discussed that. Page 108 of your packet, we had 2 matters for the LDC. Loan review committee, can't speak to this, sorry. We considered a modification to the basic work that Watertown Savings was requesting for a current loan with RMP Manufacturing. I believe that, that's right after this minutes.
Actually, the title should be RBM.
That was kind of a minor matter to basically remove some subordination that doesn't affect our ability to fall back or collect, but it's a requirement for Watertown Savings for some other transactions that RMB manufacturer was considering. We also went through an application, the first one, for Brennan's Bay Incorporated, that's also showing up later in our board packet. This is associated with the Ready Grant. They put together a pilot application to see sales tax payment to basically meet that local match criteria that the state requires so that they can receive their Ready Grant proceeds. It was a fairly straightforward application. Again, there's a resolution later in the packet for that. Both passed unanimously to bring to the full board for consideration, and they are on the board packet for consideration later. That's the committee report.
Thanks, Rob. With that, I have resolution 0603, 2021.01. Resolution for authorizing the subordination for the revolving loan to RBM Manufacturing Corporation. And with that, can I have a motion and a second?
Make the motion.
I'll second it.
Any discussion with regards to this resolution?
Yeah, I have a question. The third whereas, it says whereas as of May 31st, 2020. Should that have been 2021, or is it because we granted so many moratoriums that the 2020 date is correct?
Well, it's probably 2021.
Yeah, 21.
It should be 21,
It should
Rob.
be 21, Rob.
Okay, I honestly thought it could have been coincidental because they've been on a couple moratoriums. All right, so I asked that to be corrected, May 31st, 2021, if that's been clarified, I hear remember.
Okay.
How much was the increase the line of credit? Was it 20%, 10%?
$100,000.
Which would have percentage-wise would be
I'm not sure exactly what their
of
line
the
is.
total?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Probably four or 500,000, I would guess.
They've been doing well. They
We
sold
were-
a bunch of
We
franchises.
were already subordinate
Right.
to this loan anyway, so
Right.
this is
Not a-
something the bank has asked for.
No. So 100,000 on a $500,000 line of credit is pretty minimal.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
All right. Anything else?
Just that one correction.
On the resolution as amended, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution carries. Thank you. Really, we don't have anything really on 146 Arsenal or,
No, other than just we're continuing to work on the conveyance of city land to us, and then need to revise the lease. And as you know, I've talked to Joe Russell, we're basically turning that over to Justin for the long-term ownership of the building. It makes sense for our general counsel to be the one taking the lead on this moving forward, since it read.
page 110, our draft UTEP.
A quick question I had on back to loan was, where's Brennan's Bay? Where was that project?
Over Brendan's Bay is in,
It's down here in Mansville.
Yeah.
so-
Yeah.
it is it's Mansville
So it's on the
address,
lake.
yeah, so it's,
It's on the lake.
Okay.
They got a big RV park and
Okay.
everything there.
so maybe just quick, Justin, if you want to kind of recap the process for the UTEP, I mean, in this case, for the board, where we're at now.
Sure. For many years, there was a fairly rote process in the general municipal law that required development of UTEPs. Generally, an acceptance by the board of a draft and then distribution to every taxing jurisdiction that you are covering. In your case, every town, village, school district, and the county, and the city itself. 60 days before a public hearing, then review of all comments after the public hearing, and then adoption. That process ironically went into sunset with the civic facility legislation in 2008. So there really isn't a real process in the GML right now for amendments to a UTEP or recasting it altogether. But even in the absence of that prescribed process, many IDAs and what I was suggesting to Dave was to go through a process of transparency and engagement with the taxing jurisdiction, send out the draft comment, solicit any ideas, comments, or suggestions, and then consider it for adoption. So I think Dave has put together a proposal for distribution, and I'll let him take it from there. And perhaps after a period of a month or so, this will come back to formal consideration and approval once the board is comfortable.
And that's what we're planning on. We will still set, I mean, although it's not required, we're going to send it to all the affected taxing jurisdictions, let them know what's underway. Still hold a public hearing so there's that chance for public comment and review, and then bring it back to the board for approval.
So we really don't need to have a motion on the draft. We'll send the draft out. And then
Yeah. I mean, today we're just looking for your consensus on if you're comfortable with the draft, and if so, then that's what we'll send out. Or if you want to make any changes today, we'll make those changes before we send it out.
Assuming since it's a draft, we'll have an opportunity to discuss it later. I have no issue.
Yeah, it'd be good to get feedback from the community.
Yes.
Okay? And that's what we will do.
The main change, we changed some, basically we cleaned up some of the language, but the main substantive change is the section we've added on, specific to solar projects. And for those that weren't at the committee meeting, another change we made, the original UTEP was for solar projects under 25 megawatts. Given now that the Office for Renewable Energy Siting, ORES, you're required to go through their process if you're 25 megawatts or above. If you're between 20 and 25, the developer has the option of going through ORES. So what the committee recommended was that we change our threshold to projects under 20 megawatts. And if it's between 20 and 25, we can treat it as a deviation. Does that pretty much capture the discussion for those that were there?
Yeah. Yep. New business? Anything that, other than our resolutions coming?
Nope.
Okay, page 116 of your packet, I have resolution number 06.03.2021.02. It's a resolution of the Jefferson County Industrial Development Agency appointing New York 18144 Game Farm LLC for itself and or on behalf of an entity or entities to be formed collectively the company as its agent to undertake a certain project as more fully described below, authorizing the execution and delivery of a lease agreement, leaseback agreement, payment in lieu of tax agreement, and related documents with respect to the project, authorizing the provision of certain financial assistance to the company as further defined herein, and authorizing the execution of related documents with respect to the project. And with that, I'd entertain a motion and a second on this resolution.
So moved. Revelation.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Rob,
Yes.
Dave,
Yes.
John is absent. Bill,
Yes.
Lisa? Yes. Ed,
Yes.
Paul? Oh, you're muted.
I'm sorry, yes.
Resolution carries. Thank you. Page 129 of our packet, I have resolution number 06.03.2021.03. A resolution of Jefferson County Industrial Development Agency accepting the application of Brennan's Bay, Inc., the company, with respect to a certain project as more fully defined below, appointing the company as its agent to undertake a certain project, authorizing the execution and delivery of an agent agreement and related documents with respect to the project, authorizing the provision of certain financial assistance to the company as further defined herein, provided, however, that financial assistance provided by the agencies should not exceed $100,000 in the aggregate, adopting findings with respect to the State Environmental Quality Review Act, and authorizing the execution of related documents with respect to the project. And with that, I entertain a motion and a second on this resolution.
I'll move that.
Discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Rob,
Yes.
Dave,
Yes.
John is absent, Bill,
Yes.
Lisa,
yes,
Ed,
Yes.
Paul.
Yes.
Resolution carries. Thank you. Any other new business or items?
No?
At this time, I ask a motion to go into executive session so that we can receive advice from council with regards to a real estate issue. I'd ask that council and LDC members also be invited, and staff.
I'll make that motion.
second,
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution, or motion carries. We are now in executive
The
session.
recording has stopped.
So when we're ready, Marcia.